Channel 2S is brought to you by New Type HQ. Get your kits and supplies at the link in the description below. Let's take a look at a kit from a line that was pretty much the culmination of the engineering and technological advancements that Bandai learned and implemented in the high-grade line throughout the 2000s, the absolute staple of early 2010s Gunpla, that is the high-grade AGE-1. Here he is, Gundam AGE-1 Full Glansa. I'm excited to get into this kit because I've actually had this in my backlog for quite a while and I've always been looking for an excuse to build it. Let's take a look at this sticker sheet. I think this Gundam Age looks pretty reasonable. I'm not exactly sure where all of these stickers go, but they all seem to be pretty flat stickers that don't look like they're designed to wrap around any parts, so I think they're going to be probably pretty good overall. Even though I've never built this specific model before, there's something that's so nostalgic about this just because 2012, 2013, 2011 was when I kind of got into Gunpla, and a lot of those early kits that I built were designed much in the same way that this one is. I really like the color layout on this model. There's something about the exact proportion of blue to red to gray to white to yellow that this has that's just really satisfying. It does look incomplete with the flat chest though, that just looks kind of weird. But that aside, that is a nice looking torso. It's interesting because the when you look at it from a side profile, it almost looks like the middle part of the torso should be some sort of core fighter, where this is like the tail fins. It's kind of like plugged through the torso like this. What is this piece? And why isn't it marked with a number on the runner? Am I supposed to do something with this, or is it just decoration? You can use that for the flat, but it's not technically accurate because it fills in a lot of the inner cavity and also uses cement. Yeah, I don't see why you'd use that instead of the sticker. Was that always a part of the AGE-1 runner? Like, was that like a little bonus piece you would get with the AGE-1 normal to convert that into the flat? Okay then, yeah, okay, that checks out. That is a great looking head sculpt. Only thing I don't like about it is that I feel like the front sort of visor brow kind of slants down a little too far over the eyes and you can't really see them as well from the front. But that aside, this is a really cool head sculpt. For a 2011-ish kit, the seamline management on this is really, really good. It's something that I kind of take for granted with modern high grades because it's basically the standard now, but there are not a lot of visible seams on this model. I don't know if I've seen this on a kit before. If I have, I never noticed it, but the T-piece for the crotch is actually kind of pre-splayed outwards. So when he's standing naturally, he has his legs kind of spread out a little bit instead of straight to the side. The beam saber handle storage is kind of interesting here because it doesn't really peg in. You just kind of stuff it in here and its own width just kind of presses sort of friction fit style into the side skirt, and that's it. Like, it doesn't knock out at all. It's just kind of weird how there's no actual like peg that's holding this in. And what a nice little guy he is. His articulation isn't really limited at all. He's got great mobility. You can move just about anything as far as you want it to. He's got full movement out of the elbows, full movement out of the knees. They can actually go even further than that. You can, holy crap, look at his ankles. Some great ankle movement. Tons of forward and back and side to side. He's got thigh swivel, universal hips, universal shoulders. He's got a waist. His torso, like front to back and side to side, isn't great, but that's kind of par for the course when it comes to high grades. Overall, this is a really, really satisfying little figure to build. Model kit, sorry. It feels like a figure though. You can pick this up and you can handle it and you can pose it, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna like twist apart in your hands or anything. Like, this is a really satisfying model to handle. I've got my Lord Astray over here. I'm pointing to it instead of bringing it into the camera frame because I don't really want to touch that thing again. It feels like it's holding together okay for now, but I don't want to tempt fate. Meanwhile, this guy, I almost can't put him down. And I don't even have all the Glansa armor on him. This is literally just the base AGE-1 flat. This was a really fun kit to build. I'm glad I chose this one because I was kind of getting a little bit, not burned out, but it was kind of disappointment after disappointment with the last few modern kits that I've built. The really basic construction, and even when it's technically effective, it just really irks me when a model kit is so obviously constructed to be like scientifically engineered to use the least amount of plastic possible for maximum savings or whatever. Even if it doesn't directly compromise the quality of the kit, just the fact that I know that it's there and I know that that's what they're doing really bugs me. So being able to build a really substantial, satisfying kit like this was really, really nice. And also, by the way, he's got moving back skirts. Regardless of the era, you don't see this on high grades. I haven't built the rest of the parts, so I can't judge like the full glance as a whole, but like, man, if you're looking at getting an AGE-1 normal, like, recommendations all around. This is a really cool kit. Kind of interesting to see how the armor goes on this kit. I mean, I guess they probably did have this form somewhat in mind when they engineered the Age-1 normal, but there's no obvious connection points in the body. Everything just kind of rests over and clips together. But despite that, once you have all the parts put together, it's actually really solid. I love this kit, but there's some real chunky nubs on the outer armor. It doesn't help that it's like that really dark navy purple plastic too that really likes to mark up if you're not careful. One thing that I really like about this kit so far is that it seems that they really made sure to design the armor in such a way that it makes the kit look like it's armored up without hindering any of the articulation. He can still move his shoulders fine. You know, his legs... Okay, his leg's actually pretty limited, but for the most part, like, he doesn't look like he's, like, really heavily encumbered by the armor, and I think that's really cool. This goes over the... Yeah, it goes over the spoiler pack. That is a really wide backpack. Like, his backpack is literally twice as wide as he is. You practically have to stand him up on the guns. Oh, no. I hope that's not how this is... Okay, thank God. I was about to say, I hope you don't have to attach the shield bits to the backs of his arms, but it turns out you can mount the forearm armor in two different directions, so you can have the shield mount either on the underside of the arm or on the outside. That is really cool. There's one thing that really annoys me about kits, especially with high grades. You don't really see this with master grades, but high grades do this sometimes, where you have to mount the shield or some other arm-mounted weapon to the underside of the arm, and it always just looks really awkward and collides with the legs, and it's just kind of annoying to deal with. That looks pretty cool, though. That is a really cool looking Gundam. But I also think the normal Age-1 looked really cool as well, so I might have to get a second Age-1 to display normally without all the armor. I'm wondering if I can build the shield and the rifle, because I see a few parts from the shield right here. I got the blue part, I got the white part, and I got the gray part. Yep, you totally can. There's a spare Age-1 shield. Nowhere to mount it because he's already got stuff on his arms, but there you go. The gun's like kind of rotatable. You can kind of spin it like this, or you can put it like this. So yeah, I forgot the handles for his back guns here, but the joints are pretty sturdy and he's already got some pseudo handheld weapons here, so I feel like he doesn't really need that. You can do like the Strike Freedom style full burst pose where you just bring the cannons through here. And you know, that looks pretty awesome. He can probably stand pretty well like this too, since the cannons... Oh yeah, he totally does. Because the cannons are where most of the weight on the backpack is, so when you bring them forward like this, it kind of counterbalances him. Articulation's really nice. He's got pretty much everything you could want. The beam saber blades that can be plugged into the handles that are stored on his hips if you prefer can also be plugged into his arm-mounted weapons. That looks so cool. That is definitely the way I'm going to display this kit. And as a fun little bonus, you do get all the parts you need to build the rifle and shield from the original Age-1. They are fully functional. You get all the parts and everything you need. Overall, building this kit was a really fun, really great experience. I enjoyed this a lot. It makes me just want to build a normal Age-1 just so I have like a more basic version of this kit side by side with it. Oh, yeah, and he has an open hand too. I almost forgot about that. That's a cool little bonus accessory. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. This video was recorded from one of my live streams. I usually try to stream around 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 6 or 7 in the evening Eastern Standard Time. If you want to make sure you don't miss the next stream or any future videos I upload, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'd like to also extend a thank you to my patrons for helping make this channel possible, and a special thank you to my Master Grade tier patrons like Yank. If you want to join the Patreon yourself, you will gain access to cool features like full archives of past streams and early access to some new videos. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.